If you have to guess who the type of person behind the wheel when someone is going 50 miles per hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone, who would you guess? If you guess an elderly or an old person, then you and I would be in accord. And don't get me wrong, I still love my grandparents and older people and respect them, and I don't really enjoy stereotyping people. Um, but I would like to see a reassessment of those 65 years and older regarding their fitness to operate an automobile. Just make me feel a little safer. By the end of this argument, you will support that the United States government should mandate all drivers 65 years and older should retake their driving exam. Elderly driving accidents occur at a higher rate than all other age groups. This not only causes more injuries and fatalities among this group, but also among other age groups. A driving test for those older than 65 years old would decrease these accidents, allowing for everybody to be safer. Today I will discuss the ill, the blame, the cure, and the costs and benefits. Starting with the ill, driving reactions and crash survivability decrease in some drivers over the age of 65. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, on their webpage, older adult drivers, last updated December 7th, 2020, age-related declines in vision and cognitive functions, ability to reason and remember, as well as physical changes, might affect some older adults' abilities to drive. With these declines in vision and cognitive function, it is in the best wishes of society to contain drivers with these impairments. They are not only a risk to others, but even a higher risk to themselves. After explaining the ill, I will now analyze where to place the blame. It is the lawmakers, not the elderly, who are to blame for these accidents. The elderly can perform potentially dangerous yet legal acts when driving in states that do not require a driving test over the age of 65. It is up to the lawmakers to stress testing drivers 65 and up on their abilities and enforce those. People also begin to drive less as they age. Referencing Gia Albert et al. In Healthcare Technology Letters on January 26, 2018, they find that a decline in the annual mileage traveled, more daytime travel, and more urban and local travel in surroundings that are considered less cognitively and visually demanding. So, with this less frequent driving overall, as well as easier situations that they drive in, the elderly become out of practice. Mix this lack of practice with a vision or cognitive deficiency, and the results can be devastating. Following the explanation of the blame, I will now discuss the cure with a solution. My suggested response is to test drivers for visual or cognitive impairments beginning at the age of 65. Tests would also be held every 5 years after the initial retirement driver's license test. According to the Insurance Information Institute on their webpage, background on older drivers, last updated on October 21st, 2021. In states with mandatory in-person license renewal, it was associated with a 31% reduction in fatal car crashes in drivers older than 85. While this may affect the 85 and up population, they all are including in the group of 65 and older. And with a 31% cutback on fatalities, I think this law becoming nationwide is justified. Now that I've presented my solution, I will assess the pros and cons of that solution. Some of the pros of implementing a federal law mandating the retaking of the driving skill test at the age of 65 include a reduction in elderly driving fatalities and preventable accidents through restrictions or license confiscation. As they see a projected growth in drivers over the age of 65 as our population increases, Tochikawa C. Ikpeazi and John C. Elfar of the Geriatric Orthopedic Surgery and Rehabilitation Journal in June of 2016 report that studies have shown a rise in accidents, 178% increase, and fatalities with a 158% increase involving elderly individuals, and have projected a 40% increase in motor vehicle accidents and 50% increase in mortality over the next few years. With this sharp rise is where a driver's test is at minimum worth a shot. A con of the law would be a restriction of freedom or an adult citizen. This is not an enjoyable task for either the test driver or the grader, particularly when the driver feels that their experience deems them equipped to drive. This could, however, be argued that we do not let those who are drunk or poor of sight drive, so why would we not require the elderly who have potentially become visually or cognitively impaired to at least take a test proving their safety? After hearing this statement, you should now support the United States government mandating all drivers 65 years and older retake their driving exam. Today I proved that elderly drivers are a risk to themselves and others, and driving tests help protect all drivers and their passengers. A driving test could reduce drivers going 50 miles per hour in a 70 mile per hour zone. This would offer a feeling of safety and a solution to people unfit to drive behind the wheel. This would make it safer for all, especially the elderly drivers. Thank you.